guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. If you are new, welcome, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back for another video. In today's video, we are talking about the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Face and Eye Palette. I have it in Intensity 3 Moss Agate. So if you guys want to see my thoughts on this palette and see how the products apply on my face and on my eyes, then you definitely should stay tuned. Alright, so we have the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Eye Palette. Okay, Shade and Illuminate Face and Eye Palette. And I have the shade Moss Agate, Intensity 3. So, super excited to share this with you guys. Glad I finally got a chance to get my hands on it because it's been going in and out of stock like so quickly. So here it is. Oh, of course it comes in the, the velvet pouch. And here it is looking like all the, Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes. And we have, I'm sure you guys know, but we've got the two face shades, like this contour looking shade because it looks pretty cool toned, and then a highlighter, and then 4 eyeshadows there. And so let's get into some swatches. I'm gonna do the eyeshadows first. All right, so we have a champagne shade right there. Very nice. Then we've got this blue shade, a light blue tone, and a dark kind of, I guess, grayish black tone. These are all they all have a sheen to them, so I would consider them to be like satin shades. And then we've got this green right here, right there. And so those are the 4 eyeshadows in this palette, and they're all the wet dry formula that Tom Ford does, so you can use these wet or dry. And I'm going to do these on this side of my arm. So this is the contour there, and then the highlight right there. Very pretty. And I like the depth on that contour, and then that highlight looks beautiful. So, all right, so let me scoot up for you so you guys can see this face. So we're gonna do the face first. I have on foundation and everything. I just don't have on blush because I always do my blush and highlight after I do my contouring. All right, so I just wiped off my Designer Pro from Sonia G. I'm gonna use this in the contour shade. Put this down on the face. And so these, you guys could see in the swatches that every shade in here has like a luminosity to it. So these aren't like, super matte products. They don't have glitter in them, but you guys can see there's a shine. And you guys can see how that's going onto my skin tone. It shows up. I think it's a nice, subtle contour. And I don't say subtle in the fact that like it's not a good shade and it's barely working. I say subtle in that it's not so pigmented that you get too much and things like that. I find that the Tom Ford face products that I've used so far, they build pretty nicely in a way that makes them a little bit easier to use. Like they're not so intense that you have trouble with them. I think that looks really nice. So you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but if you watch my channel for a while, I do have like some discoloration on this side. So whenever I'm doing my contouring and stuff like that, sometimes it kind of gets in the way and makes things look a little bit patchier or patchy when they actually aren't. But this side, it looks, smoother. Yeah, I just wanted to zoom in a little bit closer so you guys can see the effect of the sculpt shade. So yeah, I think we've got a nice sculpt effect going on here, and it blended out very nicely. I think it looks beautiful in person as well as on the camera, and I just have natural daylight for my lighting for my camera. Step is to do the highlighter shade. So I'm going to take that highlight and I'm going to put it on the small artist brush, and it picks up pretty nicely. on this brush. And here we go. Now that's really pretty, and that's really pretty and nice and smooth. Very nice. Look at that. That's so pretty. I like that a lot. All right, so that's the face, you know, the face products from the palette. So I'm going to go ahead and finish prepping my eyes. I'm just gonna put some concealer on. I do have my NYX eyeshadow primer on. All right, so I've zoomed in, and I do want to see the shine effect on my lids, you know, for these shadows. So I'm gonna put some glitter glue on my lid. And for the first shade I'm gonna go into the green right there, and I'm using that on my finger, and I'm putting that all over the lid. All over the lid. I think this has a very nice intensity. It's laying down very nicely. Okay. Wow, that's pretty. That is so pretty. I'm gonna take my small brush here, and no product on the brush. I'm just gonna blend that out into the crease. Blend that green out into the crease a little bit. Not doing too much, because I do want to use that darker shade in the palette on the outer corner, just to give a little bit of a different color out there. So I'm gonna, with that brush, now that that's blended. All right, so now that that's blended, I'm gonna go into this shade here and put that on the outer corner and into the crease. And then I'm gonna blend outward more. All right, so this brush is cleaned off. I'm going to just blend out the edges of that. Bless you, sweetie. Bless you. You know, that blends nicely, and see how nicely that blended out. And I don't have, or I didn't set my concealer, okay? I never set my concealer. Of course, if you wanted to use a different kind of deepening shade, you could probably use that Sculpt shade, but I'm gonna just stick with the eyeshadows in this video. I'm gonna take some more green and put it on top of where, or just make sure that it's still looking green on this, you know, or outer portion of the lid, because it looked like it was turning a little bit more gray toned. I'm going to go into the blue with a different brush. All these brushes look like they have stuff on them. They don't. I've wiped them off several times. It's just that they're kind of stained. I'm gonna go into the blue shade and put that above the green on the inner area of the lid. Or I'm sorry, not on the inner area of the lid, but you know, in my transition area above the inner third. All right, blend that over into, you know, that kind of pewter tone. That's the shade the name I was looking for in another video. I was talking about a gray tone. All right, and so that blends up nicely as well. I think that gives some nice sheen right there, and I think it looks kind of cute. I think it looks kind of cute. All right, and you guys can probably guess what we're gonna do with the light shade. I'm gonna put that on the brow bone and on the inner corner. All right, and then for my lower lash line, I am going to take the blue shade. Camera battery is dying, and what I'm gonna do is use some blue liner on my lower lash line and on the, you know, top lid as well. So I will be back with the final look. All right, you guys, here is the final eye look. All right, so a couple of things that I did while I was off camera, letting my battery charge a little bit more. I did the eyeliner, the blue eyeliner. This is from ColourPop in the shade DTLA, and I tight lined with it, as well as put some on my lower lash line, probably about you know, 2/3 of the lower lash line with that eyeliner. And then I, of course, put the blue shadow on, but I did spray my brush on and then re-intensify this side just because I wanted to see more blue, you know, blended down on the lower lash line. And then for the inner corner, I sprayed my brush with that champagne shade as well for the inner corner and for the brow bone, just to get a little bit more intensity and brightness on those areas. So yeah, here's the final look. I'm gonna zoom out and we can talk about my final thoughts. All right guys, so my final thoughts on this palette from Tom Ford. I really like it. I think that they really did a nice job with the sculpt shade and with the highlighter shade. I think they're beautiful. They blend very nicely onto the skin, nice and smooth as far as that highlight is concerned. You guys know that I really enjoy a smooth highlight. I don't go for the, you know, glittery one. And same goes for the eyeshadows. I think they function very nicely. And I do like that it is the wet dry formula, so I can get a little bit more intensity by spraying my brush. And the shades look nice and flattering on the lids. So even though there aren't any mattes in the palette, you guys see that they blend so nicely into the on your lids, or at least on my lids, okay? But they blend so nicely on the lids, and they function nicely in the crease. They function nicely in the transition area. So I do like that. So even though you don't see a typical, like, you know, transition shade or any mattes in the palette, you can get a nice eye look with the palette. And I find that the shades will function nicely for you to do multiple looks. Even though there's only 4 shades, you can get a lot of looks out of this palette. So I did use this palette yesterday and I got a nice look with the shadows yesterday. I did use all 4, but you know, you can use 2, 1, whatever. Like that green that I put all over the lid, I could have just blended that out into the crease and been done and had a nice, you know, green smoky eye look. So I like that there's that. I like that there is that dark green shade as well as the dark, like, pewter shade in the palette. So you have 2 options really to go into your crease or into your on your outer V with a deepening shade, and then the light blue and the champagne shade are nice for all over the lid, or, you know, however y'all want to do your eyeshadow. So yeah, I enjoy the palette. So I think if you are looking for something like this that's just like one and done, you can just pick this up, travel with it. I think that this would be a good purchase. It is quite expensive though, so I'm not going to say you must go out and get it, but if you're looking at it, you're curious about it, you have the money, I don't think you'll be disappointed in it. Those are my thoughts on it. Definitely you guys let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know if you guys picked up any of the Shade and Illuminate face and eye palettes that Tom Ford has released that keep going in and out of stock. Let me know which ones you picked up, which ones you're eyeballing, and definitely let me know your thoughts on this look. So I will be talking to you guys really, really soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you want to see more content from me, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in my next video. See ya.